Good day, fellow adventurer, and welcome to my second episode of the Pathfinder Primer. In this episode, we will be covering the basics of crafting and, in particular, alchemical goods, in preparation for my video on the Alchemist. Crafting in Pathfinder 1st Edition was, in a word, horrible. It was slow, inefficient, and annoying. It would take well over a few days of uninterrupted crafting at a rate of 8 hours per day in order to make even simple items like Alchemist's Fire, and it oftentimes made a lot of sense to just purchase the items outright. The only crafting feats worth taking were the magical ones. Craft Wondrous item was a mainstay of any caster class. This allowed some characters to potentially break economy, as being able to craft items for half price was a serious boon to any player character. However, in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, the game attempts to solve these problems by introducing the downtime mode, where adventurers can spend time to craft items they so desire. In order to craft an item, the player must have in their possession the formula to craft it. Usually, most common items of level 0 can be crafted, so long as the crafter has a basic crafter's book. However, in order to craft other items, one must invest in feats such as alchemical crafting, magical crafting, and snare crafting. The specialty crafting skill feat is also helpful to increase the bonus one gains on crafting. In addition, the level of the item you're crafting must be no higher than your level. If the level of the item is at least 9, you must be a master in crafting, and if it's 16 or greater, legendary. You'll also need the right set of tools and a workshop to craft the items in. To actually craft an item, one must first spend 4 days of downtime, after which you'll roll a crafting check versus a secret DC assigned by the GM. This is based on the item, and doing so will require raw materials that cost half the item in question. If this attempt is successful, the rest of the item can be crafted immediately by spending the rest of the price of the item. However, this cost can be reduced by spending more time crafting. For each additional day spent, reduce the price of remaining goods. This depends on your proficiency rank and level using the chart provided. A critical success on the crafting check will add a +1 level bonus to the result. Do also note that consumables are made in batches of 4 with 1 check. Alchemical items can be separated into 4 different categories: bombs, elixirs, poisons, and alchemical tools. Each type of alchemical good provides some sort of effect when used, and these effects can vary greatly even within each category. Let's start with bombs. Alchemical bombs are ranged martial weapons which have a range increment of 30 feet. Each bomb has light bulk and requires one hand to throw. In addition, each bomb has the manipulate trait due to their innate intricacy. Do be aware that each bomb will require one action to draw it from a belt pouch, and then another action to actually make the strike. The Alchemist can take the Quick Bomber class feat at first level to do this in one action, while Rangers and Rogues can take Quick Draw at second level to accomplish the same goal. Many alchemical bombs, such as Alchemist's Fire and Bottled Lightning, have the splash trait associated with it. When making a strike with a splash weapon, one's strength modifier is not added to the roll. Instead, all creatures, including the target, within 5 feet of the recipient of the bomb will take the splash damage, even on a failure, but not a critical failure. However, splash damage is not multiplied on a critical success. Elixirs can provide many restorative effects, or augment one's abilities for a short period of time. Mutagens, a big part of the Alchemist's kit in Pathfinder 1st Edition, make their return, but in a significantly different way. Please note that it takes a manipulate action to draw an elixir, followed by an interact action to actually consume it. In addition, there are usually different levels to many elixirs, in increasing quality of minor, lesser, moderate, greater, major, and true. One will have to learn each quality of these elixirs in order to craft them. In addition to mutagens, your standard group of elixirs such as Elixir of Life, Antidote, and Anti-Plague can all be used to keep allies and yourself in tip-top shape. Mutagens are only often available to alchemists, as they are the only ones with the expertise to craft them, and the courage, curiosity, or stupidity to actually use them. Mutagens always have an associated benefit and drawback, and only one can be active at a time, since all of them possess the polymorph trait. For example, the Bestial Mutagen provides an item bonus to athletics checks and unarmed attack rolls, in addition to gaining claw and jaw attacks. The bonus is dependent on the quality of the mutagen. However, the drawback for using this mutagen is that the user takes a -1 penalty to armor class and a -2 penalty to reflex saves. Poisons are an often underlooked series of alchemical goods that can provide debilitating effects on failed saves. Poisons have 4 different types of exposure: contact, ingested, inhaled, or injury. Contact poisons are activated by applying them to an item or a creature's skin. Because there is risk of poisoning oneself while using these poisons, they are not able to be applied to weapons. Ingested poisons are activated when placed into food or drink, or directly into a creature's mouth. An inhaled poison fills a 10-foot cube for 1 minute, or until dispersed by a strong wind. If exposed to the poison cloud, One must make a saving throw, but a single action can be used beforehand to hold breath, granting a +2 circumstance bonus to the check. An injury-based poison can be applied to a piercing or slashing weapon, and on a success, the person hit must make a saving throw. On a failed attack, the poison stays on the weapon, but it is lost on a critical failure. Alchemical tools are far and few between, but can also provide additional benefits without needing to drink them. Sunrods and moonrods can help in case of lighting or lack thereof is an issue, and a tinder twig could be nice in case time is of the essence. On the whole, crafting is much easier to do in Pathfinder 2nd Edition as opposed to Pathfinder 1st Edition, at least when it comes to mundane items. No longer can you break economy with it either unless given a lot of downtime, which could also be used to earn income as well. The amount of time it takes to craft an item is also drastically reduced, as it is no longer going to take well over a year to craft a suit of full plate. Alchemical goods are now much more accessible in general, and are no longer restricted to just alchemists. That being said, the class does make it much easier to craft these goods. There are many different types of alchemical items that can serve a wide variety of purposes and will bring a lot of utility to the party. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for additional content. Also, please stay tuned for the next video where I will be discussing The Alchemist.